So in Mysterium, it is a cooperative game where we're all going to win or we're all going to lose. Everyone plays a psychic, and you've assembled at a haunted mansion on Halloween evening to conduct a seance. The veil between the spirit world and the mortal plane is at its thinnest for 7 hours on Halloween evening, and that is the way that the game tracks rounds. So at the end of each round, we're going to advance the clock by one. So you'll have 7 rounds to solve a murder. And that murder will be mine because I am a ghost. But at this haunted mansion, there have been multiple murders. Each of you has been assigned a different one. Your murder will consist of 3 elements: a suspect, a location, and a weapon. No two people can have the same cards, they're all different. And for each round, you're going to be trying to solve the element that your crystal ball is on. So everyone starts on the suspect level. So everyone's going to try to solve their suspect before they move on to the next level where they try to solve their location. If they don't solve their suspect, they'll remain on the suspect level and keep going until they do solve that suspect. So once you move to the location, you try to solve your location, you move on to your weapon, and once everybody solves their weapon, it triggers the final round, where we try to figure out which of the 6 murders is my murder. Now, being a ghost, I can't really speak to you during the game. I can only communicate to you through visions. And visions are these abstract cards that have a lot of things going on in them. Now, I only have a limited number to work with, and they are abstract, so they're not going to be blatantly obvious. I may have to rely on tiny details that correspond to the in the vision to a card that's on the table, or maybe it's the color scheme, a preponderance of shapes, the overall theme. It can be anything of the cards. In any case, I'm going to win or lose with you, so it is in my best interest to give you the best visions possible. So once people start getting their visions, you're going to discuss with each other what you see in them. Because they are abstract, you're going to pick up on different things. Everyone should weigh in and say, I think you're this one, but you could be that one. And as other people get visions, they may get a better vision for something that you were considering. So it's always good to have backup plans and think, I could be one of these 3 things. So once everyone gets the visions, you're going to take your crystal ball and you're going to put it out on the table on the element that you think I'm pointing you to. And that's where the other part of the game, clairvoyance, comes in. Everyone has these clairvoyance tokens, these checks and X's. You can use these to vote whether you think people are correct or incorrect with their responses. So if white thought that red was correct, you can put a check on red, and if brown was incorrect, you can put an X on brown. Now, regardless if you're right or wrong with these checks or X's, they're going to go up under the clock. You're going to get them all back at the beginning of the 4th round, but you want to be correct with them as often as possible because it's the main way to get points in this game. Now, when you spend clairvoyance, you can't vote on yourself, and you can't put more than one on the same token. So you can't put like a check and an X to hedge your bet, or double check or double X someone. But other than that, you can put out as many as you have available to you. And for each one of those that you get correct, you're going to get a point, a clairvoyance point. And you're going to keep track of that on the counter that's to the left of your picture. And at the when we reach the final round, you're going to take your little marker that's under the counter, and you're going to put it above this clairvoyance track, above the number that shows on your counter. If you notice on the clairvoyance track, there are 3 breakpoints: one at 0, one at 7, and one at 10. This corresponds to how much information you will get to see in the final round, and I'll explain that more in a moment. Just suffice it to say, for now, you want to try to get to 10, so you have the most information available to you. If not, try to get to 7, because if you don't reach 7, it's going to be a little difficult in the final round. Now, how it works for me, the ghost, is I have a hand of 7 visions. And once I give those visions out to someone, I draw that many cards to bring my hand back up to 7. And once people start getting their visions, you should just start talking about it right then and there. But you shouldn't make up your mind on where to put your crystal ball until you see what visions everyone has. And once everyone's done, you put out your tokens, your checks and X's, and once you're done for the round, you're ready to find out if people are right or wrong. You just flip your crystal ball over. That lets me know that you're ready. You're not going to do anything else this round. And when everyone's flipped, I'll let people know if they're right or wrong. So when I let them know if they're right or wrong, like if I say, yeah, red was right, red moves up to the next level. If you had a check on them, you're going to get a point. And regardless if you had a check or an X on them, you're going to take that token and put it up under the clock. There's no penalty for if like you had an X on them and they were right. You don't lose a point. It's just one less chance that you will get a point. Now you don't get the points for guessing with your crystal ball. You just move to the next level. However, once you solve your weapon and you've completely solved your murder, you're going to gain a bonus number of clairvoyance points equal to the number of hours remaining in the seance. Like I said, it's 7, so 7 minus the round you finish. If you finish in the 5th round, you're going to get 2 points. If you finish in the 3rd round, you're going to get 4 points. And you're just going to add those points to your counter. Now, when we reach the final round, everyone solved their weapon. I'm going to take all 6 murders that have happened. Basically, I'm going to copy my board that shows me who everyone's been assigned. I'm going to put it down on the table and number them 1 to 6. And I'm going to take 3 visions from my hand. I'm going to place one is for each element in that murder. So one is for the suspect, one is for the location, and one is for the weapon. But they're going to be shuffled. You're not going to know which one corresponds to which element. They just all belong to the same murder. And you're going to have to make a vote on the number that you believe my murder is, seeing a number of those visions equal to the break point that you reached on that clairvoyance track. So if you finish at 10 or above, you're going to get to see all 3 visions. If you finish 7 through 9, you're only going to get to see 2. And if you don't reach 7, you're going to only see 1, and you're not going to know if it's for the suspect, the location, or the weapon. So good luck with that. And in the final round, you're in a deep trance. You're not allowed to speak to anyone during this round, and your vote is going to be made in secret. And the entire group will go with the majority number that is voted for. If there's a tie for that majority, the person who has the highest clairvoyance will be the tiebreaker. And we will all win or we will all lose based on that final vote. And that is Mysterium. Oh, how it works for me. Sorry, the ghost. Like I said, I get 7. I give them out and draw my hand back up to 7. If you notice on top of the clock, there are 3 crows perched up there. I can spend a crow token to discard any number of visions from my hand and draw my hand back to 7. Obviously, in a medium game where I get 3, I can only do that 3 times during the game. So they're a very valuable resource for the ghost. I hope you have fun playing.